Welcome to the Zompire Horde podcast. Join us every Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, as your hosts, Vlad the Rad and Michelle of the Dead, discuss horror, true crime, and the macabre. Episodes available on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Join us, won't you? Yes!
Hello!
Welcome to the Zompire podcast. Tonight we're speaking not post-apocalyptic, but apocalyptic horror.
The topic is apocalypse, the end of the world.
And that's why we're all in our apocalypse garb.
I might pass out. It's hard to breathe, even though I have I've got like a little switch over here. Ow! Of some kind.
Hey, okay. Melissa Boland says
Melissa,
hello.
What's up?
She also loves the masks.
Thank you. Melissa's our biggest fan.
She loves the show.
She's our number one fan.
I like it. We have joining us tonight Josh, Grape Ape, man of many talents.
Hello, everyone.
He looks like he's a victim of some sort of apocalyptic event.
Right? What are the odds?
I mean, God, what could have happened to you? Could it have been a radioactive event, like maybe a nuclear war or some sort of fallout, toxic waste type of thing?
I think with the Slipknot mask, I'm going to have to go with it was a new metal meltdown of some sort.
God, yeah.
That's I'm going to try to keep it in theme with that.
I still think that you look like one of those, I forget what they call them. Somebody help me out in the comments. The
Cabbage Patch Kids?
No, the Walkers, the people that wore the skin masks.
The Whisperers?
The Whisperers, that's it. I got to pull these up and put on my regular glasses because I'm
probably going to have to take this off soon. It's sweaty. Sweaty in there.
I still look cool. All right, here. That's still like a look, right?
Yeah. Breathe.
All right, so tonight
we can breathe.
Apocalyptic horror.
Yes, the end of the world, and it doesn't even have to be horror. It can be sci-fi too, or comedy. There's a lot of rollovers when it comes to the end of the world, and there's lots of different types of world-ending events as well, which is the really fun part to talk about, I think.
What's up,
hey, Rob.
So let's define, I guess, for everybody what our opinion is of apocalyptic horror. Like, when I think apocalyptic horror, I think of movies like Night of the Comet. You know what I mean? Even Killer Clowns from Outer Space would be like an apocalypse.
Yeah.
And even like things like Terminator.
There's
to my brain
so many different things. Like there's aliens for one. That's they come to Earth. Like Independence Day, that movie.
Okay.
Natural disasters, like Night of the Comet, comets hitting the Earth, asteroids hitting the Earth, things like that. The moon,
Armageddon.
Yeah, exactly. Disease, plagues, illnesses, viruses, COVID. Everybody. That's like kind of like a modern day apocalyptic event. I mean, on a lower scale, I guess.
Absolutely.
Do either of you guys remember that movie? And I want to say, I always get it mixed up with, it's 12 Monkeys.
Yeah.
I can't remember who was in that, but I remember that being like a very...
Was that Brad Pitt?
No,
because that one's the other one I was thinking, Seven, where it's the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah.
It was in the box.
Someone on tier with Brad Pitt. Bruce Willis. Oh no, Brad Pitt was in 12 Monkeys.
Was he?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was in the asylum.
That's probably why I get them confused with that and Seven, because he's in both of them.
Melissa's got it.
There you go. Sharknado.
Like those type of movies as well. I think
Wait, since we're talking about Brad Pitt and apocalyptic movies, World War Z.
That's awesome. Any zombie movie, though, really is an end of the 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later. Those are two of my very favorite movies ever. I love those. Things like that. Night of the Comet. That's the first horror movie I ever saw, actually, when I was little. Yay.
So we'd have to consider apocalyptic horror like the happening of the apocalypse, and then post-apocalyptic horror being the aftermath.
Like, well, I think you can
I'm just
kind of
trying
lump
to
them
define
together.
lines here, so I know.
I think you can lump them together. Like mutants, I think of sorts would be, like a post-apocalyptic, but it's the result of an apocalyptic event. But I can't even talk. So I think you can merge them.
Okay.
So
Fair.
I mean, for the sake of conversation, we can merge them. Like Planet of the Apes. I mean, what happened to make that happen? I mean, it was just a different type of.
We'd have to ask Grape Ape. What did you do?
Hey.
The way I'm thinking about it, it's like so many of the movies that have like the apocalypse theme to it.
Resident Evil, yeah.
They'll show both. Like they'll have like this is that terrible, awful event, and then this is what we've done after. Like even the Romero movies. You start with Night of the Living Dead, and it shows you how everything going to shit.
Those are definitely
all the other ones that come out. It's like
movies of the apocalypse.
How it goes,
yeah, for real. Yeah, I love it. I like ones about natural disasters. They're scary to me because they can happen. Climate change is happening. A comet could hit the Earth. We could have a major earthquake or, something horrible like that just destroys the entire planet. Icebergs are melting or the whole Earth, freezes up. Ice age.
I think that's probably to me the scariest. Cabin Fever, that's a really good one, Rob.
Yeah.
To me, like the more natural things, I think not, I'm not afraid of a lot of stuff, but when it comes to like real life horror, you worry about serial killers and like tornadoes. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, around here it's like
that scare me
earthquakes, volcanoes, and tsunamis is all we have here. So
right, true.
I'm not so worried about serial killers.
What I've always enjoyed the most is like biomedical shit, like stuff with like a plague or things like that. Like The Stand is one of my favorite. Like the mini series was actually really good. The new one they did not so much, but The Stand was like one of the first Stephen King books I read, and then the movie adaptation of it, and all of that. Like, and then COVID happened, and it was like, oh shit, The Stand.
Yeah, I love that you're a Stephen King fan like me. It's great.
I feel like there's going to be at some point here in the future there has to be a book, or I'm sorry, a movie about COVID, like a massive
probably. I'm there's local filmmakers and smaller, groups doing things like that. I'm sure already.
Oh, for sure.
They just haven't hit big screen. So.
When I was growing up, one of the movies I think that really got me into the apocalyptic horror idea was Night of the Comet.
Yes.
Because like that one, I remember watching on like USA Up All Night, with Gilbert Gottfried or Rhonda Shear.
Yeah, I remember. I used to watch that too.
It was just like it was just like a wild, fun, slightly funny, but like, as a kid, you think there's a possibility that a comet could come and turn people into zombies. And so there was like a realism thing to it at that point for me. And I think that one was the first one that really jumped out to me growing up in like the 80s. You know what I mean? Yeah,
that was so awesome. It was my first one, and it holds like a little spot in my little black heart. I just, and now I see it, and I see the effects, and I see them. I'm like, oh my god, that looks so bad, but it's amazing because of what it is. I love it.
So I found one for you, Vlad. That's the climate change has released an ancient rabies virus trapped in the Antarctic ice. A female scientist tries to get to the laboratory to create cure to save the world. COVID-21 lethal virus.
There you go.
I'm in.
Yes.
On Amazon Prime.
What's that?
Came out last year. It's available on Amazon Prime. 1.7 stars.
Hey.
Huh. That's surprising. Rabies is a pretty good virus because it's fatal to all mammals. Unless you get like intense treatment immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't the Soka sisters put out a Rabid? Yeah, I remember watching it, but I don't remember too much about it.
I didn't see that.
I don't know if it was actually about rabies. I feel like it was about like almost mad cow disease.
And that is different than rabies. That is, I believe, anthrax.
Trapped in the house.
Which is also one of my Oh, the favorite bands from back in the 80s.
Well, wait a minute. So is
What?
is Evil Dead Army of Darkness? That's got to be like apocalyptic horror, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's one of my favorite. I actually have the Evil Dead 2 movie poster tattooed on the back of my thigh.
Nice.
I love
Are you
that
going to show
too.
us? Oh! Vlad.
What?
Speaking of showing us, will you do a really quick show and tell? Pretty please?
Of what?
You know what? You know what?
Yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah, you know. Come on.
What, my finger?
Yes. Yes. Vlad got his finger removed, as you watchers will know from a couple of weeks back. He got it back from the lab because I guess with humans it's different than animal parts. You send it out for pathology and then it has to come back after they do stuff to it. I don't know. I don't work in human medicine. I work in animal medicine. And I have all kinds of stuff in jars that I just have on the shelf. Anyways, Vlad got his finger back, and it's awesome. It's so crazy because you know it's real, and that's what's so different about it. And he says it looks really, really weird from the top, but he hasn't sent me a picture yet. Just from the side.
The comments are cracking me up. The finger, give us the finger.
That's the finger.
I would like to
Come on, guys. Oh, raffle time for the finger. Wait. Don't show him yet. Don't show him yet. They're going to start giving us money. No, go ahead and show the people what they want. Look at that! Isn't that awesome? Looks like it's your finger when you've been in the bathtub too long. It's all wrinkly. You should have gotten a pedicure before you got... Look at that! Look at that! There's bone! There's bone in there! That's so... Oh, God, I love it!
I love that it has my tattoo, though.
I know!
That's the coolest part.
So cool, dude. Do you miss it?
I've been making these little TikTok videos where I play like "I'll Be Missing You." You know, the fucking Puff Daddy song.
And you're all with your hand.
Yeah, like the "You Complete Me."
I saw that one. That was hilarious. Nice.
I've been asked to raffle my finger. I've been given cash offers for my finger. But from what I understand, it's bad to give away your body parts.
Well, also, it's not good to sell parts of your body.
Yeah, I'm just excited to have it. Like, I feel like, I just have it with me.
I love it.
One of the wooden coffins like Penn Cemetery uses. Like get a nice little velvet lining in there.
Angela says no sales. I agree.
Hi, Angela.
I feel like if I do a raffle and then donate some of it, then it's not really like a bad thing, right?
Yeah, but this is a once in a lifetime thing. You'll never get it back, and you will regret it if you sell it. I promise you. I had a flute once and I sold it and I regret it.
But there was a TV show, I believe it was on Amazon, where this guy had his foot amputated, and then it somehow got sold inside of a barbecue at a raffle. And there was like a legal fight between the guy missing the leg and the guy who bought the leg, and it was a huge thing. It was pretty funny. The guy who had the leg was trying to get famous by owning the leg, and
who won?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I remember that.
It came out the similar time as the
thank you, Zach.
Exotic one, Tiger King, and so I think it kind of went under the radar because of that.
Oh, gotcha. Zach's a good friend, dude.
Zach wants me to keep my finger, guys.
Yeah,
Zach is a good friend. Zach's actually driving me to the airport
dude.
on Wednesday morning, so thank you, Zach. Again, appreciate you, brother. Angela says you don't let other people have your body parts.
Exactly.
No one cares what you think, Angela. I'm trying to make money over
I care.
I care.
You're a digit down, and
it's okay. She'll probably cut a part off of you while you're sleeping to sell it if you're down with that.
Some stitches in the side.
Staples.
Also, after talking about a couple movies, the TV show The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah.
Like apocalyptic.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's going to be a Negan spinoff, like Negan and Maggie.
I saw that.
Really? When are they going to stop?
Well, like they hated each other. Don't turn them into an item.
There's a baseball bat at her fucking husband until his eyes popped out of his skull.
Right. She must not have liked him that much. It was all a ruse.
I couldn't believe they didn't kill that guy off so many times by now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, there's Walking Dead, and then Fear the Walking Dead, and there's another one that I think it's on Shudder that was like a kids version, basically about kids in the apocalypse. So interesting, but terribly executed.
Brittany.
I'm listening.
Nice.
It was just terribly executed. Like it's just time to let it go.
Well, and I believe this is the last season, right?
It is, but they've talked about like the spinoff with Negan and Maggie, a spinoff with Daryl and somebody else that I hope dies in this season. Like it's just kill them all off. Like at that point, do you really want to still be alive anyways? Like,
I mean, what do you have to look forward to?
Right. The next tribe that's gonna come try to take you out. Like
I'd probably just off myself, to be honest.
I don't know, man. I think I would just set bear traps on people and.
Would you eat them?
I mean, probably. Like Donner Party style.
Yeah. Ooh, we could build. I'm all like we're doing it. Build like a big roasting pit in the ground, and like have a spit, and we can just slowly just turn it and cook it. Oh, it tastes just like pulled pork.
I've said before, in a zombie apocalypse, I'm doing two things. I'm going to raid the Bass Pro Shop, and then driving directly over to Costco and shutting those big metal shutters, and I'll be good for at least 6 months to a year.
Yeah,
I feel like I'd be. Oh man, what's the character that's like all goofy? And everyone doesn't understand why he's still alive, but he does like cool things with bullets. Like he makes the bullets and shit.
Oh, the scientist dude.
I'd be stuck being that guy. Like I'm still alive because I've tried my way into like having people protect me.
That dude has gotten so many people killed, and he like nobody even cares at all.
I'm even starting to look like him.
His name's Eugene.
Oh shit.
He's even got a terrible name.
True. I don't know. Like I've always wondered, like, if we were told, "Hey, there's a comet coming. What are you gonna do? It'll be here in like 24 hours." Like, I would want to find the closest place to see it fall, and have that be the last thing I see is this comet crashing down on us. Like,
well, it'd be such an amazing, beautiful sight.
Right.
You know, meet your maker.
Alyssa wants to know if eating zombies makes you turn into one.
That is a great question.
Which came first, the zombie or the zompire or the vampire?
Oh gosh,
I
think I'll need to do more research on that because they've both been around for a very long time.
Well, I feel like if you eat a zombie, yes, you turn into a zombie.
Well, even if the flesh is dead?
I mean, does it matter if like
or how it gets inside you?
All right, according to Google. Once infected and full zombification has taken place, the zombie is no longer alive. So its flesh is not. What? If humans were eaten or infected, the zombie would. That doesn't even answer the question. I should have read ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I think your stomach acid would kill any of the zombie cells. It's different than if one bites you and gets directly into your bloodstream and into your tissue. But if it goes into. But it would have to bypass your mucous membranes, so it would have contact with your bloodstream. So never mind. I think the answer is yes. Eating zombies would turn you into one. I'm going to go with yes.
That's how I feel.
I agree.
I have to think of it from like a scientific standpoint.
Prevent the whole zombie apocalypse, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've told you how to do that. When people die and we put them in the box, we tie their shoes together.
Oh,
then, if there's ever a zombie resurrection, they'll just take a step and fall over.
There you go.
I like that.
Until they did figure out how to get their shoes off.
You know who we need to ask about this eating zombies thing? I can't think of his name. The Vampire of Paris.
Nico Clow.
Yeah, Nico would know.
Ew, I wouldn't want to eat a re-decomposed zombie. That'd be even worse than a regular zombie.
Like somebody dies.
It'd be soup.
Back, then you stab the zombie in the head and then eat that flesh.
That's you're going to run out of food eventually.
I mean, I guess it would depend on my hunger situation at that point.
How good your hunting skills are.
And how deep into the zombie apocalypse are we at this point?
Look,
I'm giving myself 6 months.
Look, I'm not saying like I'm Bear Grylls or nothing, but like I watch a lot of Naked and Afraid, and I do too. I feel like I'll be all right for at least.
I don't want to be naked for it, but I'm pretty sure I could survive in a lot of those situations. I spend enough time in the woods. I know what to eat. I know what you should touch, and I know what you need to stay away from.
It's gonna come down to Josh, we're out of food. You're gonna have to eat this bug, and me saying, "I'm out.
I'm out. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna die." Well, I mean, there's other things. There's usually crawfish in like fresh water, and that's like shrimp. Delicious fish. You could do that. Easy to catch. Squirrels, I won't make you watch, but we'll cook them after we get them cleaned. It'll be like little game hens. Little game hens.
My parents eat squirrel. My dog's coughing. I'm so sorry.
That's a dog cough?
Oh yeah, dude.
It's a collapsing trachea. It's fine. Exactly. It's normal. It's totally normal in little dogs.
My parents eat squirrel like 5 times a week. They are obsessed.
They're from the South?
They live in West Virginia now, so it's own little.
Is that normal there? Is that culture there?
I guess. I don't know. It's always, what are you having for dinner? Oh, squirrel. Like, why?
You guys
Walmart. Just go to Walmart.
You guys know.
Well, when I go to Peru, I'm gonna have guinea pig.
You guys know what a girl from West Virginia says after having sex? Get off me, Dad. You're crushing my smokes.
Oh, God. You're going to offend somebody from that state.
Well, normally I say Tennessee, but David Pratt's in here, so I didn't know.
Oh, God. Okay.
What are you thinking?
Zach McClure says he's got my back in a zombie apocalypse.
All right. That's good.
I just got to grab my finger. I will grab my finger.
Yeah, you got to have that finger, man. It's going to be a good luck finger.
I feel like I would be in like a Shaun of the Dead type situation. Where
Shaun of the Dead.
I would take
another one
and leave my finger behind, and then we'd get to some safe place, and then all of a sudden I feel this like little finger crawling up my neck. You know what I mean? Like my ear or something.
Vlad's final move.
Be my reanimated finger.
Vlad's final move. All the zombies are attacking. He's out of weapons. He cracks open the jar, takes the thumb, and just bones them right into the brain.
Well, it's my ring finger.
Your ring finger. I said thumb. My bad.
We know what you meant.
What are some more modern day apocalyptic horror that we haven't talked about yet?
So one of the ones I saw listed was Bird Box and A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
I will have to be 100% honest. I have not seen either of those.
Really? Well, they fit the category, so you're gonna have to watch them soon.
Yeah, okay. They're pretty much the same thing. Like,
it's very similar.
But your boy MGK was in Bird Box, so there you go. A Quiet Place, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Cabin in the Woods,
scary.
Someone had mentioned that earlier. Cabin in the Woods. That is that was surprisingly really, really, really good.
Right?
Yeah.
I didn't expect that movie, and especially having Hemsworth in it. I was like, how's this gonna go? And then I watched it, and it blew me by a complete surprise.
Yeah.
I love
the very ending was just like, wait, what? It was amazing. Let's see.
I think Cloverfield that series would be considered pretty new, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember when the last one came out, but I think it's still fairly new.
Have either of you seen any of the Cloverfield movies? I liked how the first one they kind of left it. You never knew what the aliens looked like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like the monsters or whatever. Like they didn't really give into that.
I saw the first two. So Cloverfield, and then the second one wasn't like John Goodman in the second one?
Yes, I believe so.
So I saw those two. I didn't see the third one.
Angela says the Cloverfield movies. Michelle says Quiet Place is great.
That's Melissa.
What did I say?
Melissa. You said Michelle.
Melissa. Sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. It's Monday, but it's always Monday when we do this. You don't have an excuse.
Melissa, I was just gonna bring up The Mist because when I was talking about being able to see the monsters or whatever, I thought about The Mist, and when they were in the grocery store and like the dude's body comes flying and shit, dude.
That's terrifying.
Hell yeah. And then the big ass crab leg that comes under the door and shit.
But the ending of The Mist, like,
oh dude,
that is one of the most twisted endings to a movie of all time. Like, wow.
If you haven't seen it,
two of the worst endings of a movie I ever saw was that one. Top two.
Good ending. We need to make sure we're like. I want people to see it. If you haven't seen it, see it. It's a great ending, but it will blow your mind.
Yeah, like you just leave bummed out. Not because the ending sucked, but because it was the worst possible ending. But the top two worst endings to any movie ever was The Mist and Requiem for a Dream. I've watched it one time and I absolutely refuse to watch it ever again. I've never had a movie made me feel so depressed in my life.
Right.
That movie is so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it's got a Wayans brother in it. Like, you should never have to say that about a movie with a Wayans brother in it.
Yeah.
Right. Never thought of it that way.
Zombieland, that's not really new, but that's still a fun one. It was a fun take on like.
I love that one. I love that one.
I thought
I was really impressed.
Like I Am Legend, that's probably old, considered old now, but I have no concept of time anymore now that I'm 35.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Shut up!
I thought it was cool. I love Zombieland because I like I've said pretty much every episode. I love a little bit of comedy with my horror.
Mm-hmm. I just love Woody Harrelson. I think he's great. I love him.
Oh yeah, for sure. But Shaun of the Dead was another one that kind of fit that mold. And I love that when George Romero made, I think it was at Land of the Dead, he actually used Simon Pegg and the writer-director of Shaun of the Dead as zombies in the movie because he loved Shaun of the Dead so much. So that's
where I got my name right there. From Shaun of the Dead. Yes.
Well,
I kind of like
bed.
Borrowed. Yep. Shit the bed. Michelle the Dead. That's going to be my tagline.
I'll have to redo the intro and add that.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, I always like, I think too, growing up, and you guys, you know, you're a little bit younger than us, Grape Ape, but yes, Angela, I am 35 as well. Let me put this up so everybody sees it.
Oh yeah. Yes.
There you go. There's confirmation that I am 35. Yep. And as a 35-year-old, it's questionable that I even know about a movie like The Birds. But Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, when you talk about apocalyptic movies,
that is apocalyptic.
It's so simple, and especially for that time, like it was probably terrifying because that's a real ass thing that could happen that you never would think about, but it's terrifying. That
reminds me, Twilight Zone, which is like one of my favorite things in the world. Every New Year's, I watch from like New Year's Eve through New Year's Day. It starts with like the very first episode from like 1958 or whatever, and it goes through chronologically. But like so many of those episodes are apocalyptic, and I love it. Have you seen much?
I've never watched any of that.
You've really never watched any of the Twilight Zone? Oh,
yeah, I don't know how. It's one of those things that like, didn't they redo it recently? Didn't like Jordan Peele?
Yeah, just watch the ones from the 50s and 60s.
That's fair.
I remember watching them growing up, but I haven't watched them in years.
Oh God, I love it. Every year, it's a thing for me. My household is like, nope. She's watching Twilight Zone. Leave her alone.
There was one episode I remember. There was some sort of like flying beast on the wing of an airplane. That was like, but I don't remember them that well.
There's a woman on the wing.
I remember Tales from the Dark Side too.
Oh. Yeah, there's also like a creepy doll one. There's one where this guy could like stop time. And at the end he stopped time just in time before a missile hit the earth. And it's like, okay, so you just let the world be frozen forever like this, or do you just like start time again and it hits and everybody dies? You know, weird shit like that. Also, Planet of the Apes. I always talk about that because it's terrifying to me. Everybody who knows me knows that I think the scariest horror movies to me are the Planet of the Apes. They're terrifying. They're creepy. Monkeys are scary to me anyways, and apes are scary to me. And that shit could happen. Maybe on a parallel universe it's happening now. I don't know.
They are smart.
I don't think I've ever seen the Planet of the Apes movies.
Oh
Really?
my god, they're terrifying. Well, you know how freakishly strong apes are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have just watch any video of humans versus
they tear
apes.
Human faces off.
Oh my god, like a little tiny chimpanzee. I saw him just help a dude up a tree just with one hand. It's like, dude. And the damage and destruction they can do to you because of their brute strength, and they're intelligent and they've developed tools. And what if they developed speech and then developed they already have communities.
Yeah, that's what I need to revisit.
Yeah. It's so scary. Start with the old vintage ones in black and white, and they're it's so scary, and they just watch them all. Wasn't
that, who was in that? Charlton Heston? Or
Matt Damon?
Marlon Brando?
Oh, I don't remember.
And the original was Marlon Brando.
Was it Marlon Brando?
Or I'm pretty sure.
I'll have to look it up.
That sounds right.
See, Angela loves Twilight Zone also. I just love it. I can't not watch it. It's like, you've seen that episode a million times. Yes, and I'm going to watch it another time right now. Oh, yeah, Godzilla. And all of those creatures, too.
Mechazilla. I think other than the more modern Godzillas, I never really got into the older ones. But then again, I'm not really much for I
remember my school library had these horror books that you could take out, and there was one was Dracula, there was a Frankenstein one, there's a Godzilla one, and I used to take those out and read them all the time. But movie wise, it never really got me.
Yeah, as far as I thought, Godzilla looks cool. He's it's Charlton Heston, Angela says.
Thank you, Angela.
As toys, I thought they were really rad looking, but as far as animation or the movies back in the 80s and shit, just wasn't my deal as far as Godzilla goes. But I think also being in Japan or whatever, it kind of loses its realness to me, because as a kid that seemed like a world away. You might as well be talking about Saturn.
Right.
I always thought King Kong was one that was pretty frightening to me. It's back on the monkey business. But just because of his sheer size, and even the newer ones that they made, Kong and all those ones.
I love watching those. I know everything's all CGI and everything, but I really like creatures and monsters. And giant ones are even better. So I enjoy that. I love dinosaurs and oversized animals.
Did you watch Rampage with The Rock?
No. Need I?
I mean, got The Rock in it, duh.
You really, you shouldn't watch it, but if you're ever bored and have nothing else to do, it's pretty bad. But if you're bored and have nothing else to do, it's
Does it have big monsters in it?
Remember the Rampage video game where they climb up the buildings and break windows?
I think so.
Very, very, very extremely loosely based on that.
Yeah.
So you have a big gorilla and you have a big crocodile.
Is it a lizard?
Okay.
I think it's a crocodile.
It's not an iguana?
What was the other one, though? In Rampage, there was 3.
Was there something that flew?
Like a pterodactyl? No. What was the other one? Yeah,
he's looking it up.
A King Kong,
and a wolf.
Oh yeah, maybe it was a wolf.
Yeah.
I was thinking a creature from the Black Lagoon type thing, but
no, it's a crocodile, an ape, and a wolf.
Melissa's got it.
Thank you, Melissa.
Well, I think speaking of animals, if they wanted to, we could have an apocalypse. Say if insects, somehow there was some imbalance in the ecosystem and insects took over. They outnumber us infinitely anyways. And what if they got car size? We would be extinct in a week.
Well, that was
Wouldn't that be terrifying?
Yes,
50s and 60s sci-fi stuff was Attack of the 50-foot
giant
spider.
mantis. I love the giant mantis one.
It was Attack of the 50-foot everything.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. But yeah, they could like, what if spiders could fly and they were the size of like German shepherds?
Killing me.
Oh God.
It's
Oh, you know what could survive during apocalypse?
cockroaches.
I'm gonna get out one of my little friend to show you.
It just reminds me of Arachnophobia. Like, I have not watched that movie since I was like 8 and saw it for the first time. Like,
is that a hissing cockroach?
Yeah, they're all hissers.
Can you make them hiss?
Well, it's only the males. Oh, only the males hiss. But yeah, if I pester them enough, hold on, let me find a.
No animals were hurt in the making of this podcast.
No. Wait, hold on. This guy. Did you hear that?
Oh yeah. Shut up.
wow.
Dude.
What he does is when he gets agitated, and also while he's mating, and also when he's fighting with other males, they have little vents in their abdomens, and because they breathe out their body, they don't have lungs like mammals do. Oh, hold on, buddy. And so they expel air really fast, like they go, they just squeeze, they compress their abdomen, and the air comes out and makes a hissing noise. Hence the hissing cockroach. But they can't harm you. And actually, those are local celebrities. Those were cockroaches that were used in a local Friday the 13th movie that's going to be coming out this summer.
Oh, how do we? Can we put them in a box?
Live cockroaches? No, they're my
pets. Which movie?
It's the Friday the 13th Vengeance Part 2.
Okay.
Yeah, Bloodlines.
Oh, Melissa.
I thought Bloodlines and Vengeance were two different ones. I was trying to make them separate.
Bloodlines is Vengeance Part 2. There's Vengeance Part 1, which is just Vengeance, and then Part 2 is Bloodlines.
That's where I was confused. There's a Vengeance, then there's Roseblood, a fan.
That's completely
Bloodlines.
Unrelated, but just like same actor playing Jason. So
speaking of which, if you haven't watched that interview yet, go back to our YouTube channel when this episode's done and watch the interview with Jason Brooks, who plays Jason Voorhees in all three of those movies, and also what he write and direct. Bloodlines. So
Vengeance Part 2. So yeah, it's awesome because there was a lot of your returning characters, and I got to be a character as well.
There's a shit ton of Friday the 13th alum in all those movies.
What was that?
There's a shit ton of Friday the 13th alum in all of those movies.
Yes, yeah. So you guys should go back and watch that episode, and you can hear about all the alumni who are in those movies, and you can watch Roseblood, and you can watch Vengeance on YouTube. And did you ever add the links to? I think you added the links on the Zompire page, so you have to head over to the Zompire page and hit those links to watch those movies.
Side note, Josh, all boxes were mailed out today. I'm absolutely ecstatic for people to get these.
Nice.
Yeah, I knew you'd be busy today.
It's kind of a post-apocalyptic or apocalyptic.
Definitely.
Romero box. So
yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Box.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Man Who Shan't Be Named box.
Anything of the dead is apocalyptic. Yeah. I am Michelle of the Dead.
So here's the question. Since we did the Man Who Shan't Be Named box, what is your favorite movie he's done, or you're allowed to pick Return of the Living Dead as an option?
Are you asking me?
Both of you.
You don't want to say creep though.
Well, yeah, but I guess I meant more of the zombie stuff.
No, I enjoy the first one.
Although Creep Show is they have zombies in it, so it works.
Well, I got to meet Judith O'Day at Cryptocon one year.
Me too.
And hang out with her, and so that makes it even more like my favorite. I mean, for that fact alone.
Usually when I go to conventions and I get autographs, I always get them inscribed to Vlad, because it makes me know that I won't sell it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I won't sell it if it has my name on it. And when I met her and got her autograph, I didn't think to ask her to write to Vlad, and she didn't. She just wrote, I can't remember what it was, and then like, love Judith O'Day or whatever. And it's one of the ones where I'm like, fuck, I wish I would have got that like to me, But one of the cool things about that convention that year was, I think this was the 2011 Cryptocon, was almost all the actors from Creepshow were there. And I have Creepshow tattooed across my forehead.
Yeah.
So I actually have a picture with all of them.
Did you showcase it?
They kept like, oh my God, I can't believe you have that on your face. And I'm like, I love that movie.
Did you put LED lights around it so you stood out?
I should have had like the blinking like movie poster.
Yes, the matinee.
But it was really cool to like be with all the people that were in the movie, like, and showing off my forehead. It was similar when I met George Romero. I have a portrait of him on my right foot, and I showed him my portrait, and he was just like, "What the fuck are you doing with my face on your foot, kid?" I love your shit, man. Awesome. You're the best. And I got a picture with him in my foot, which was really cool too.
That's awesome. I never got to meet him because the year he was going to be at Cryptocon, the most recent time, he canceled because he was sick, and then he passed away a couple weeks after that. So
who was it that didn't they announce someone today?
Yeah, it was a guy who does the voice for Mojo Jojo from the Powerpuff
Girls. Yeah, I saw that. Roger Jackson.
Jackson. He also does the voice of Ghostface.
Ghostface, yeah.
So that'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
I have a feeling Josh is going to send me something to have Roger Jackson sign.
Hey, where do you live, Josh? I forgot.
Ohio.
Oh, Ohio.
Yeah. I have my mask. He's already on there, but there's that piece I won from that raffle, like that wood
block.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah. Hey, so we kind of got off the subject a little bit. Do you guys want to wrap it up for the night? And what should we talk about? Hey guys, what should we talk about next week? Give us some ideas. Throw them out there. Melissa, cool I know you got me.
After we talked about doing the Apocalyptic horror, somebody said something. Rob Zombie films would be a good one. I've been wanting to do one on him because, especially with the monsters coming out soon, I think that.
Did you see? I'm excited for that. Elvira is going to be in the movie or in the show or whatever it is. The monsters.
Really?
Yeah, and it also got a PG rating.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, I think that's because everybody's expecting them to go all, destroying the image of the monsters with the zombie, traditional style that he has. But, he's like, I'm not going to disrespect like that. This is actually going to be PG. So, it's still going to be family friendly.
Rob Zombie would be a cool one to do.
I believe so.
Good. Well, and it's like he's got enough films too where we can sit, really actually do.
He's got so many haters though. I don't get it. I just I don't know. I don't know. I went to the concerts and I watched the movies and I'm just, a metalhead girl who loves that shit.
I think sometimes when the majority, or not the majority, but when the gatekeepers of the community have some negative reaction because it didn't meet a certain expectation, or like with with Halloween 2, where he kind of went off the rails a little bit and told his own story, that it'll get these gatekeepers to be like, and then all these other people who really don't have opinions will fall in line and just be like, yeah, fuck Halloween 3. It's not a Michael Myers movie. Like, go fuck yourself, dude. You're an idiot. You know what I mean? It's a great movie. Who cares if Michael Myers is in it or not? But, so he gets a lot of shit for that. But if you go back and you look at House of a Thousand Corpses was his homage to horror, and it was amazing. Mm-hmm. Was it a perfect movie? No, but color-wise, cinematography, the story was okay, but it was still a good movie for his first movie. Devil's Rejects will be the best thing he ever makes. Like 100%.
That's so amazing.
And it's a perfect fucking movie. There's never been a better soundtrack to a movie. Like, it's great.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And so people have their opinions on it. It just sucks that so many people allow other people to form their opinion for them.
Exactly. Rob, I agree. So we're kind of having the zombie podcast right now.
No, we need to stop.
Okay.
Week. Okay, so next week, guys, we'll do an episode on Rob Zombie movies. I am your host, Vlad the Rad, with my good friend, Michelle of the Dead. Shit the bed.
And then our good friend, hey, this is all backwards on this thing. Todd.
Mr. Jelly Roll himself.
All right. Thanks, guys.
From the Midwest, Jelly Roll, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you guys all for tuning in. We will see you next Monday.
See you next week.
And we are out. Welcome to the Zompire Horde podcast. Join us every Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, as your hosts, Vlad the Rad and Michelle of the Dead, discuss horror, true crime, and the macabre. Episodes available on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Join us, won't you?